Welcome back to Weber Pulling Team. Today we're going to be installing my new boost gauge on my 95 two-wheel drive 12 valve Cummins. I've been wanting to do this for a while, ever since we did all the upgrades to the engine and turbocharger, and the gauge I got is just a 30-pound boost gauge. It'll spin past it down to the peg, which is 40, and we know it'll make more than that. I want to get a gauge in there to find out just exactly what kind of boost it makes. I mean, I know boost pressure is not anything more than resistance to flow, so the big number is not a huge deal, but we would like to know what kind of boost it's making. And we have a power driven diesel boost controller, so we can adjust exactly how much boost it does make. Out with the old 30-pound gauge, in with the new 60-pound gauge. All the wiring and everything's the same. These are just a cheapy SunPro gauge that I got, and so hopefully it should be as simple as pulling my homemade gauge mount out, unhooking the boost line and the power source to it, and plugging the other one back in, roll, and go have some fun. Get some in-cab and find out what kind of boost the truck actually makes. So stay tuned. Here we go. With the old gauge, it's just a 30-pound gauge, and in its place we're going to be putting a 60-pound gauge. So let's do this the easy way. Okay. Alright, now that was really real easy. We got the 60-pound boost gauge in. Yeah, I painted the ring red to match the others. There we go. Make sure it lights up. It does. Cool. Not bad looking gauges, these SunPros. They're really cheap, but okay. Alright, now the fun part. Go out, take a few rips, see what this thing will do. Alright, so warmed up, boost gauge in, everything seems to be working. A few test hits on her here. It's a little more than 40, but I'd say it's going to be less than 50 for sure. So that means we can go back down to our boost controller if we want to and tune it in. Okay, so we gave the boost controller about 5 turns in. Ease into it now. Didn't get it all the way to the floor, but just shy of 50 pounds. Alright, so with that power-driven diesel boost controller, turning it back out will effectively allow the wastegate to work, function more, sending more air to the wastegate, which will then lower your boost pressure, while turning it in is basically like blocking the wastegate, which will allow more boost pressure. Like now we got it set a little above 40. Cranked it out quite a bit so the wastegate can work. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to throw the lockup switch. Go ahead and see what it does now. Mid 40s. it's set in a pretty good spot. Honestly, I think the truck's got a little bit of an issue. I believe we've got a little bit of a fuel pressure issue. Changed the fuel filter and that helped, but it's not super smooth. It's not very smoky. I think we're probably a little low on fuel pressure, so probably going to leave it set there in the mid-40s until we get perhaps a better lift pump. Looking into Power Driven's, they got basically a modified stock lift pump, which is supposed to be good to, like, I don't know, way more horsepower than this thing makes. So once we do that, then we can really dial this thing in a little bit better. But at least now we know what kind of boost we got. Yep, I think we're definitely a little low on fuel pressure. It's always something, but I suppose that'll be the next upgrade. Weather gets a little warmer and I start driving this thing a little more, we will probably look into a better lift pump.